let the madness begin. Hello, everybody, and we welcome to opening day, and it's gonna be fun. This should be a good one. Yes, it is. The 1965 Minnesota Twins will take on the 2016 Chicago Cubs. One second here. Thank you. All right. Hey, Ben, how are you? Let's get this going and get it started. This is going to be a fast series. So we're going to go ahead and play them as we can, play them fast. It's going to be John Lester on the mound for the Cubs taking on Jim Cott. DH will be used in the universal DH in this. We'll be playing weather conditions. We have a good day here in Wrigley. Singles are 1-7. Home runs are 1-9 to lefties. Righties is a 1-15. So good ballpark conditions. Best of 7. Instead of being automatic one and done, we have decided to go to the long series. So it's going to be Lester against Cott, lefty versus lefty. Let's go. Let the madness begin. This is game 1 of the best of 7. So here is Zolio Versalles, MVP during the 1965 season. Lester looks in, gets the sign. Cubs offensively is Zobrist, Fowler, Hayward, Bryant, Russell, Baez, Rizzo, Ross behind the plate, and on the mound is John Lester, who can be run on. He is a +8. So Lester looks in, gets a sign. Here's a pitch to Zolio Versalles. And that's a ground ball back to Lester, throws them out, and there's one away. Here's Richard Rollins, the third baseman. Hitting .249, 5 home runs, 32 RBIs on the season. Lester with the windup, lefty matchup to Rollins. And that's going to be a drive in the gap left center field. It's over Fowler's head. That's going to be a double for Rollins. So the Twins start strong. Here is Tony Oliva, .321, 16 home runs, 98 RBIs. Lefty-lefty matchup, runner on second, 1 out. Here's a pitch from Lester to Oliva. That's going to be a fly ball right field. Hayward will be there, makes the catch, and Rollins will hold. Here is Bam Bam Harmon Killebrew, .269, 25 homers, 75 RBIs. So Killebrew steps up, right-handed hitter, loves what he sees in the outfield here in Wrigley Field. Lester from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a strikeout for John Lester. Retires the side. Half inning of play. Minnesota, nothing. Here come the Cubs. For the Twins defensively, it's Allison, Hall, and Oliva. Rollins, Versalles, Kendall, Killebrew. And then Batty is behind the plate. And on the mound is Jim Cott. 18-11, 2.83 ERA. Here's the lineup for the Cubs. Fowler, Hayward, and Bryant. Rizzo, Russell, Solar, Baez, Ross, and Zobrist. Cott on the mound. Here's the pitch to Fowler. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. Hit at Versalles. He's at 2-E40. Man, he throws it away. So Versalles threw it in the dirt. Killebrew cannot get it. And that's an E6 on Zolio Versalles. Here is Hayward. And Hayward steps up. 230 hitter, 7 home runs, 49 RBIs. Caught from the stretch. Fowler to take a lead. Fowler probably not going to take a jump on this. He's 19% successful. Doesn't get it. Caught from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Hayward. And that's going to be a fly ball center field. Hall is there, makes the catch, and there's one away. Here is Chris Bryant. .292, 39 home runs, 102 RBIs. Caught from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Bryant. And that's going to be a line drive, and it's caught by Rollins for the second out. Here is Anthony Rizzo. .292, 32 home runs, 109 RBIs. Caught from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a strikeout for Jim Cott, retires side. We played 1 here in Chicago. Let the madness begin. Minnesota, nothing, and the Cubs, nothing. Here is Bob Allison, .233 hitter, 23 homers, 78 runs batted in. Lester with the windup. Here's the pitch to Allison. And Allison line drive caught by Russell, 1 away. That was a ballpark single attempt. That was taken away. Here's Earl Batty, 6 home runs, 60 RBIs. Hit .297 on the year. Lester with the windup. Here's the pitch to Batty. And that's going to be a pop up to the shortstop. Russell is there. Makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. Here is Jim Hall. 20 home runs, 86 RBIs, hitting .285. Again, he's a guy who I can see right-handed pitch. A lot of these Twins are kind of one way or the other. Lester with the windup. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball to right field. Hayward is there, makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. So there's Addison Russell. Will be followed by Jorge Solar and Javi Baez. Caught in the windup. Here's the pitch to Addison Russell. And that's the ground ball to short. Again, hit at Zorio. Picks it up, throws him out. So Rosales comes up with the play, one away. And now here is Jorge Solar. 238 hitter, 12 home runs, 31 RBIs, 227 at-bats. Caught with the windup. Here's a pitch to Solar. And that's the ground ball hard the second. Kendall with the play, and there's 2 outs. Here's Javi Baez, 273, 14 homers, 59 RBIs. Caught with the windup and pitch to Baez. And that's a base hit for Baez. Let's see the speed he has to see if he will get the lead. He takes the lead. Let's see if he wants to go for it. Gets it on a 4-6. Doesn't get picked off. And we will try for it. Here's the lead from Baez. He does not get it. Cott gets him back. 2 outs. Here is Ross. 229 hitter, 10 home runs, 32 RBIs. Cott from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Ross. And that's going to be a strikeout for Jim Cott. We played 2. No score. Here is Kendall, followed by Nosek and Versales. Top of the third, no score here from Wrigley Field. First 2 games we play at Wrigley Field. Then we'll go back and play the next 2 at Minneapolis at Metropolitan Stadium. That'll be 1-1-1 if necessary. So here's Kendall, Lester with the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be hit by pitch for Kendall. Now my job, hopefully, to get this, we'll maybe play 3 today, at least 2. And then we'll be on the game 4. So we'll have some good stuff moving forward. Lester from the stretch. Kendall may want to run because Lester is a +8. That makes it a +4. Let's see if Kendall's got some running room. 22% says yes. He gets the lead. Here's the throw and gets in there. So Kendall with a stolen base. He stole that directly off John Lester. And here is Nosek. 218 hitter, 2 home runs, 16 RBIs. Lester from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a line drive. Base hit just over the head. Kendall had to stop. He stops at third. And the Twins got something going. First and third, nobody out. Now see if Nosek wants to run. Lester giving that really bad hole is giving them options. He can get it on the 3. Let's see if he does. He cannot get picked off. Here it is. Oh, did he get it? Let's see. And no, does not get it. So Nosek holds. First and third, nobody out. Cubs will play. Even up the middle, they'll accept the run. Here's Zolio Versalis, grounded out his first time up. Lester from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Zolio. And that's a ground ball to third. That's hit at Chris Bryant. He does not make the play, I don't think. Let's see. The long throw got him, and the run scores. An RBI for Zolio Versalis. So Bryant just gets the runner at first. Nosek moves to second, and the Twins lead it 1-0. Here's Rich Rollins. 1-for-1 hitter, doubled his first time up. Lester from the stretch. Runner on second, 1 man out. And the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball to short. Russell throws back to Rizzo, and there's 2 outs. Here's Tony Oliva. He's 0-for-1, flied out his first time up. Lester from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Oliva. Ground ball to short. Russell throws him out. And we go to the bottom of third inning. Twins strike first. It's 1-0 Minnesota here at Wrigley Field. Game 1, best of 7. Let's go ahead and take things. Barbara, how you doing, my girl? How you doing? Welcome aboard again. Thank you for now being a new member of my channel. Always thank you for that. Appreciate that. RJL probably goes on after me tonight or soon. So we'll keep some people here who want to watch. Otherwise, go ahead and do your RJL thing as he's in a pennant race. I don't think he has a day off unless his mid-series are done. Here is Ben Zobrist. Late acquisition. Right-handed hitter hit against Cott. Cott with the windup. Here's a pitch to Zobrist. That's going to be a struck him out, 1 out, 1 away. Here's Dexter Fowler. Fowler's 0-for-1. Cott with the windup and the pitch to Fowler. Fowler is a walk, so Fowler's on. Will they want to run on Kitty? 65% gets it. No, cannot get picked off, so Fowler holds. Runner on first, 1 out. Here is Jason Hayward. Caught from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Hayward. That will be a walk, and now there's 2 Cubs on. Can't let this Cub team get this far ahead. Cott has to be careful not to make any mistakes. First and second, 1 out. Caught from the stretch to Chris Bryant. 0-for-1 with the line out. And the pitch. Ground ball to third. Will they turn 2? No, it goes through for a base hit. It might have hit the bag even. So that's a base hit. Let's see what the rare play said. and he'll jam. Let's see what the hold was. Let's read it. Grounded up the middle, on the way for a base hit. Brian is thinking about going for 2. No, jams on the break. Scrambles back to. Oh, he may have gotten picked off. He throws. He's out. Oh, my goodness. So Hayward will move to third. They got Chris Bryant in between. He was trying around first too long time. He threw it back to first, tagged him out, and there's 2 outs. The Cubs may have ran themselves out of an inning. So a bad base running from Chris Bryant. 2 outs, tie game at 1. Here's Anthony Rizzo. Caught from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to be a struck him out looking. We played 3. Minnesota 1, Chicago 1. Game 1 is March Madness here. This is a best of 7. This is something new. If you haven't watched the old video, we decided to do a best of 7 format. We'll get about 2 or 3 games done today. And these were seeded as the best franchise records by wins. So this was the best Twin record and the best Cubs record that I had availability in Super Advanced that I had a season of. And it looks like Ron Juckett has gone on. So it looks like few people will be doing games this evening. Top of the 4th, 1-1 score. Lester now in. Here's a pitch to Killebrew. Killebrew walks. So Killebrew is on. Here's Bob Allison. Lester struggling. Again, Lester with poor hold makes it really easy to steal. Lester from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a wild pitch. A wild pitch by Lester moves Killebrew to second. So now Allison's on. This is one of the years where Allison hit lefties well. So this will be interesting. With all that power Wrigley Field generates, Allison does have power going to left field. Lester from the stretch, runner on second, and the pitch. And there it is, one of them. Deep fly left field. Back goes Zobrist. Reaches, makes a fantastic catch. What a catch by Zobrist. Home run won the 16. You rolled the 19. Come again. What a catch. So is Bob Allison robbed here in Wrigley Field. And there's 1 out in the 4th. Keep that in mind. That is going to be on This Week in Baseball. A Sports Center moment if there ever was. Here's Lester. Top of the runner on second. 1 out. Lester to Batty. And Batty with a base hit. That's going to be in the gap. Splits it. Killebrew scores. Twins lead 2-1. That's an RBI double for Earl Batty. So now here's Jim Hall. Lester from the stretch. 1 out. Batty not a chance to steal. And the pitch. That's going to be a strikeout for Lester, and there's 2 outs. Here's Kindle. He has got hit by a pitch and believes stole second. Lester from the stretch. Runner on second, 2 out. Not much speed for Batty. 6-10. Ground ball to third. It's hit at, again, base hit. Oh, and he threw it away. Bryant got it. Went over the head of Rizzo into the camera well. They'll give Kindle second base, and he'll give him the extra base on the throwing error. So it's a single and a 2-base error. Runner scores, and the Twins take a 3-1 lead. So now here's Joe Nosek. Nosek to bat. Lester now. The Cubs have to not make these mistakes. Pitch from Lester to Nosek. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. Hit at Russell. Throws him out in their side. Retired. Twins score 2 in the 4th. It's 3-1 Minnesota. Game 1. Best of 7 here in this March Madness tournament. So here's Addison Russell. This is a play-in, too. Winner will play the top-seeded the New York Yankees in this right-handed bracket. We'll go ahead and show you that bracket when we get to the 5th inning. Caught with the windup. Here's a pitch to Russell. Russell base hit. No, it's caught by Rollins. 1 away. Here is Jorge Solar. He's 0 for 1. Caught with the windup and the pitch. That's a ground ball down the first. Killebrew with the play. Tough play. Oh, he could not make it. It's off his arm. No plays made. So Killebrew booted it. That's an E3. And Solar's on base. We definitely got some jitters early on. Now here's Baez with a tying runner aboard. Caught from the stretch. Runner on first and 1 out. The pitch to Baez. Baez, 5-ball to center. Hall is there. Puts the glove up, and there's 2 outs. Here is David Ross. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Caught from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Ross. And that's going to be a line drive base hit. So Ross gets a hit. Solar moves a second. The Cubs got the tying runners on. Here's Ben Zobrist. He's 0 for 1. Caught from the stretch. First and second, 2 outs. And the pitch. That's a strikeout for Cott. We played 4. It's 3-1 Minnesota. Again, at the end of this full 5th inning, we'll take you to the brackets and show you what's going on. Lester with the windup. Here's the pitch to Zolio Versalis. 1-5. That's a shot to the left center field. Splits the gap. It's a double for Zolio Versalis. So runner on second. Nobody out. Here is Rollins. Rollins doubled back in the first. From the stretch is Lester, and the pitch. That's a line drive base hit. Versailles moves to third. Rollins, that was a seeing eye base hit. Rollins to first, Versailles to third, and Lester continues to struggle. 6th hit for Minnesota with a 2-run lead. Here's Tony Oliva. The Cubs will play the infield, and they know the importance of these runs. Lester now looks in. Here's a pitch to Tony O. That's going to be a fly ball right field. Versailles has got speed. Hayward can run a little bit. 1-15. He's going. Here's the throw and no throw. It's 4-1 Minnesota. So an RBI sacrifice fly, and that was by Tony Oliva. 1 out, runner on first. Lester from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Killebrew now. Killebrew, fly ball right field. That's Hayward. That's almost a gimme as a catch. He makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. Hayward, one of finer right fielders, never really lost any of that. Here's Bob Allison, lined out and a deep drive to left field. That Zobrist pulled down for an amazing catch. Lester from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Allison. That's a walk to Allison. 2 on, 2 outs. Cubs cannot let this get any further. So again, the Cubs bullpen, that I believe is Joe Madden. He'll get his extra guys in there. Let's see who will come out. So we're going to have in this series probably Hamill, Grimm, and Hendricks. So the available pitcher probably would be Lackey. Lackey may be one of them. Let's see. None of these pitchers has a long rating. That's what hurts these pitchers, is they get stomped early. There's not a pitcher who gives them a long relief range. So with all ones out there, they may have to go to a starter, and hopefully he lasts. So Hamill will be in the Cubs bullpen getting loose. No relief rating, though. Should have gave him one. Lester from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Batty. And Batty with a base hit. The bases will now be loaded. So nickel and diming John Lester here. 4-1 Minnesota, top of the 5th. And it's Jimmy Hall's turn. Lester trying to get out of this. Joe Madden about ready to jump on those steps. Lester from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Hall. And that's going to be a liner. It's a base hit. Just gets past him. 1-9, gets the 9. So an RBI Hall. Russell stops it, no throw, and the Twins go on top 5-1. Here is Kendall. Now, what do you do here? And I think here come Madden. He cannot let this get any further. They're going to go to Jason Hamill. Not going to be used in this rotation, so he'll come in and be the long man. Hamill so far on this, he's a right-handed. He pitches better than righties. And in an ERA of 3.83, 15 and 10, 167 innings. A 5-man rotation. He's right there. The other 4 starters, a little more innings in him. So Hamill will come out in relief. 2 outs, 5-1 Minnesota. Here's a pitch to Kendall. Kendall pops to third. Bryant is there, makes the catch, and the Cubs are within a slam. It's 5-1 Minnesota going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's Fowler, Hayward, and Bryant. Cott looks in. Now is a 4-run lead. Here's a pitch to Dexter Fowler. And that's going to be a ground ball to first. Tough play for Killebrew, and he makes the play this time. He gave it to Cott, who is supposed to be a good fielding pitcher, and he's a 1E33. Ouchie. Cott looks in, pitches to Hayward, 0-for-1 with a walk. Pitches to Hayward. That's a ground ball back to Cott. Throws him out, and there's 2 outs. Here's Chris Bryant, 1-for-2 with an RBI. Caught with the windup and pitch to Bryant. And that's going to be a strikeout, retired side. We played 5. It's 5-1 Twins. All right, folks, let's go ahead and see who we have here still. Again. Yeah, I know. So kind of was that way. It'd be either This Week in Baseball or Sports Center. Neither of them existed at the time. So let's go ahead and look at our tournament so you know what we're expecting here. Back in the right-hand side bracket, the Minnesota Twins of 2016 playing against the Twins. The Cubs do have the home field advantage. They'll play the winner of this series will play the Yankees in the round of 16. Then in that same bracket will be the 98 Braves and 85 Blue Jays, the 18 Red Sox, and 98 Padres. We'll take a look at the rest of the bracket, so take your time and look at it. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll go ahead and get back to the baseball game. We'll need to show the brackets again. I will in a little while. Let's at least play the first game. While I'm doing that, I'll put the bracket up when I change starters for the second game. Let's go ahead and take a drink first of all. Here's Joe Nosick, top of the sixth, 5-1 Twins starting off. Hayward, the right-handed pitcher to Nosick, and here's the pitch. That would be a strikeout for Hamill. Good job so far. Here is Zoyo Versalis, 1 for 3, a double back in the fifth. Hamill with the windup and the pitch. That would be a strikeout for Hamill. Hamill looks in. Richie Rollins, 2 for 3. And the pitch. That's going to be a line drive deep left field. That's trouble. Rollins is back, way back, and it's gone. Home run, Rich frickin' Rollins. Take a pro wrestling thing there. Rich Rollins with a home run, 6-1 Minnesota. And the Twins jumping atop the Cubs here in the first game. That is a scary sight. I thought these Cubs would be very good. Now they're getting kind of put away early game one. Hamill now looks in. Here's a pitch to Oliva. Struck him out. Good job by Hamels. He's already struck out a bunch here. So we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. It's 6-1 Twins. Why Hamill? Oh, it's Cott we're looking at. Sorry. So through 5 innings, Jim Cox looked good. 3 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Here's Anthony Rizzo. He's 0 for 2. Cott with the windup and the pitch. That's a fly ball left field. Tough play for Allison. Comes in, throws the. Oh, it's off the glove. Boy, defenders are having issues. Or was that Oliva? It was Oliva couldn't make the play. I thought it was Allison. So Oliva couldn't make the play. Boy, these Twins having a hard time adjusting to Wrigley Field today. Rizzo to second, and the Cubs are back in this ball game. Here's Addison Russell now. Can the Cubs get back in it? Cubs for the stretch. Here's a pitch to Russell. That's going to be a walk to Russell, and here come the Cubs. Cubs trying to make a comeback. Here's Solar. He's 0 for 2. Caught from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Solar. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. That's a double play. Kindle, the Rosales to Carew to Killebrew. So Rizzo moves to third, 2 outs. And here's Javi Baez, 1 for 2, single back in the second. Caught from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be ground ball to third. Tough play for Rollins. Does he make it? No, he cannot. He basically batted the ball down. He couldn't pick it up. Baez beat it out, and the Cubs are back in, and it's 6-2. So an RBI for Baez. Cubs trying to work their way back in. Here's David Ross. Top from the stretch. Runner on first and 2 outs. Here's a pitch to Ross. That's a deep drive left center field. This could be trouble. Back goes Hall, back, and God, goodbye. So it is now 6-4. Holy cow, gone, goodbye. Let's look at Cott's rating. My God, they shanked him. 264 innings, and he's fatigue of a 6. Wow. He douched him, in my opinion, with all those starts. So now the Twins may have to go to their bullpen. Let's see who the Twins have available. They're going to warm him up just to get him going, and we'll see if he can survive this. They do have a decent bullpen, though. Let's see if we can find someone who's got it. Boswell, 6-5, 3.4 ERA, could be an early option for these Twins. Dave Stigman and the Sea Monsters, again, he's a 4.37 ERA. Carmine Pasquale will probably be one of the 5th starters. Mudcat Grant is one of their starters. Jim Merritt, 77 innings, 68 hits. He's a deadly lefty. But you don't want a lefty right now in this lineup, so let's see who's available. Jim Perry, probably not going to be on this. So he should be. 2.63 ERA, only 168 innings. They're going to need some help, I bet, but we'll see what happens. Cott will stay in there and pitch to Zobrist, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. Versailles, does he make the play? Yes, he does retire the side. The Twins have committed 3 errors, and we got a ball game. Minnesota 6, Cubs 4. So top of the 7th, Killebrew, Allison, and Batty. Jason Hamill back on the mound for the Cubs. Here's a pitch to Killebrew. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. Bryant picks up, throws him out, 1 away. Good job by, it was a ground ball to third. They say a nice play by Rizzo. That was interesting. Bryant picked it up, though. Oh, yeah, hit at Bryant. Takes it with the backhand. So Rizzo with a nice play at first to save an error. 1 away. Here's Bobby Allison. Hamill with the windup, the pitch to Allison. That's going to be a strikeout. So Jason Hamill looking strong. 2+ innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. Gave up that big extra home run that looms big. Hamill with the windup. Here's the pitch to Batty. 2 for 3 and a double. And there it is. Line drive, deep left field. Back goes Zobrist. Leaps. Makes another fantastic catch. Zobrist. That was Zobrist robbing his 2nd home run of the ball game. Home run won the 15, rolled the 18. Seventh inning stretch. Take me out to the ball game by Harry Carey. It's Minnesota 6 and the Cubs 4. Wow, 2 great saves in the outfield by Ben Zobrist. So now here's Fowler, followed by Hayward and Bryant. Cott's on the mound. He'll come out. The first pitcher's fatigue hits. Cott with the windup pitches to Fowler. And that's a pop up to short. Versales is there. It makes the catch. So Jim Cott trying to survive this. Here's Hayward, 0 for 2 in a walk. Hayward with the windup pitches to Hayward. And that's a base hit right field. So now the tying runner comes on for Bryant. You're not leaving a lefty out there to pitch to Bryant. So new pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. So the Twins management will come out and make the move. The question is, when do you bring him in? Ooh, another decent reliever, but he's a reverse. Looking at the lineup screen, mostly righties come in. Do you go for a long save? This will be a 7-out save for Al Worthington. Do you do that or not? Let's see what they decide to do. Dave Boswell will come in, and he'll try to get it to Al Worthington. So here comes Dave. Here comes Dave Boswell. Can't pick up my mouse. Give me 1 second, and we're back in game. So run on first, tying run in. Dave Boswell in. Pitches to Chris Bryant, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Boswell from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a walk, and the Cubs all of a sudden bring the tying runners to the plate. Here's Anthony Rizzo. 0 for 3 runs scored. Boswell from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball left field. Allison there makes the catch. So Ben Zobrist has saved 2 monster home runs today. So now here's Addison Russell. 0 for 2 in a walk. Boswell from the stretch and the pitch. That's going to be a fly ball center field. Jim Hall is there, makes the catch. 2 outs in the 8th. So now here is Jim Hall. I'm sorry, that was Earl Batty. Hall the bat with 2 outs. That was the end of the inning. My fault. We played 7. 6-4 Minnesota. So Jason Hamill stays in, and he's going to try to stay out there for the Cubs. Right-handed pitcher to Hall. Pitch to Hall, Kendall, and Nossick. May have some pinch hitters here. Here's the pitch to Hall. Hall struck him out, 1 away. Now here's Kendall. He's been on a couple times. Hit by pitch, stole base, single, got on third on the error. So he has a run scored. Top of the 8th. Let's see what they're going to do. Kendall is normally their second baseman. Let's see who also plays second base for the Twins. Do I want to take somebody out and not have it? Okay. So Quickie is a good second baseman. So now we need to find somebody who may hit righties a little bit. Oh, that would be Don Mitcher. Holy shit. So Mitcher, a lot of power versus righties. And he'll probably hit here. So what position does Kilbrew play? That just makes me wonder. He can play third a little bit worse, and that's fine. So Rich Rollins, who's had the home run today, or has he? Have to look. But he's a 422. Boy, that's an interesting move you make. So Don Mitcher will come out and hit for Kendall. Might stay in the game as long as you don't get a lefty come up. So here is Don Mitcher. So he comes to bat, left-handed hitter, likes hitting righties. Now, but the Cubs make a move corresponding. 1 out in the 8th inning. You normally would. Now, the question is, do I coaching both teams? Do I make the move? So I'm going to roll a die off screen. And let's see if I roll 1, 2, 3. The Cubs will not counteract the move. So 4, 5, 6 will go ahead and bring a lefty in. Alex Wood is in the bullpen. So let's see. And no, here comes Joe Madden. He'll make them in. He's usually the type that make moves like this. So Alex Wood will come in just because doing that as a kind of a, I don't want to say, bring somebody great in, then I'll counteract with a move of my own. Well, I'll go ahead and roll a 6-sided die to see what the decision made. So the 4 means Joe Madden makes the corresponding move. So it's left on left, 8th inning, 1 out, 6-4 Twins. Wood from the stretch, Mitcher the pinch hitter. And that's going to be a drive to deep right center field. Back goes Fowler. Gone. How about that? Home run for Mitcher, and the Twins lead it 7-4. You don't see managing like that on either channel with a fluffy cat or the guy playing inside pitch. 7-4 Twins, pinch hit home run. And I brought in another pitcher, so you don't see managing like that screwing up by a dude, a fluffy cat, or the guy playing inside pitch. So that works both ways. So Wood comes in, 7-4 Minnesota. Here's the pitch to Nosek. And that's a strikeout, one away. And here's Zolio for Salas. He's 1 for 4 with a double. Has an RBI. Wood from the windup, the pitch to Zolio. And that'll be a ground ball to short. Tough play for Addison Russell. Makes it, throws him out 2 away. A big insurance run there by Don Mincher. And now they'll have to get a new second baseman. And again, that will be Quitchy. He'll come in and play second base. Now the question is, does Rich freaking Rollins get picked up? Nope. You know what? We'll just take Mincher out, pinch hit home run, and we'll go ahead and put Quitchy, I believe the name is. He'll play second base, plays a lot better, so he ends up becoming a 2-E-8, so very good. 7-4 Twins, Cubs down to the last 8 outs, game 1. Or last 6 outs, game 1. It'll be Solar, Baez, and Ross against Boswell. Boswell, the windup and the pitch to Solar. And that's a strikeout for Boswell. Here's Baez. He's 2 for 3 with the RBI. Boswell with the windup pitch to Baez. And that's a base hit. Now we go to David Ross. He's hit a home run, 2 RBIs. He is not as – he has some power on there, even though he's a better hitter versus lefties. Ross will stay in there. Boswell from the stretch. Al Worthington gets ready. The pitch to him. That's going to be a walk, and that might bring him in. So Zobrist, who's been the star for the Cubs today, 2 amazing catches. He's a switch hitter. Will bat left-handed or will turn around, bat right-handed. But I think we're going to go to Al Worthington. So Worthington's going to have to get 4 outs to get the Twins their first win of this series. Let's go ahead and bring the new pitcher. And here comes Al Worthington. So Worthington's a right-handed pitcher. 2.14 ERA. He's considered their closer. 21 saves. Worthington from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Zobrist. Zobrist walks him, and the Cubs have the tying runners on and 1 away. Here's Fowler. 0 for 3 and a run scored. Worthington from the stretch. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pitch to Fowler. That's going to be a strikeout. Big pitch by Worthington, 2 away. And now here is the J-Hay kid, Jason Hayward. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Left-handed hitter. Worthington from the stretch and the pitch. That will be catch X. Let's see. Batty's a 2-E-6. Possible pass ball. Does he get it past him? No, it's a pop-up behind the plate. Batty is there. Makes the catch. And the Cubs leave the bases loaded. 7-4 Minnesota. We head to the 9th. Rollins, Oliva, and Killebrew. Game 2 will be immediately after this. Wood with the windup. Here's a pitch to Rollins. And that's a strikeout for Rollins. So now here is Oliva, 0 for 3 of the RBI. Wood looks in. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a walk to Oliva. Here's Killebrew. Wood from the stretch. 3-run lead to Killebrew. And that's going to be a fly ball center field. Just got under it. Fowler with the catch, and there's 2 outs. Here's Bob Allison, 0 for 3 of the walk. Wood from the stretch. Run on first, 2 outs. That will be all 6s. Back to Hamill. Makes the play, throws him out, and the side is retired. We go to the bottom 9th inning. Minnesota 7, Chicago 4. Again, this is game 1 of our best of 7. Let's do this. Yeah, he is. He's having an absolute clinic out there. So let's go ahead and go to the bottom 9th inning. Game 2 awaits us. It's going to be Bryant, Rizzo, and Russell. Worthington looks in. Here's a pitch to Bryant. That's going to be a strikeout for Worthington, 1 away. And now Worthington from the windup to Anthony Rizzo. 0 for 4 and a run scored. And the pitch. Deep fly, right center field. Back goes Hall. Gets it, makes the catch. Home run, 1-9, got to 19. 2 outs for Russell. Last chance, last licks for the Cubs. Worthington with the windup and the pitch to Russell. That's going to be a line drive. Base hit for Addison Russell. Keeps the Cubs in the game. Here's Solar, 0 for 4, strikes out a bit. So the Cubs will now look. He's the designated hitter, so anyone can come in and hit. We are going to go, and we pulled the 2017 card for him. Kyle Schwarber, 2016. He broke his leg, I believe, first week of the season. He was out all year, and he came back and played in the 2016 World Series. Well, he had no card really in 2016. I think he had 4 at bats. So we use his 2017 card. Tons of power versus righties. 30 home runs, 59 RBIs, hit 211. Cannot field to save his life. So he's your kind of permanent DH versus righties. Schwarber to come in, left-handed hitter against Al Worthington. Worthington looks in, and the pitch to Schwarber. That's going to be a walk to Schwarber, exactly what he does. 2 on, 2 out, Cubs bring in the tying run. It's going to be Baez, who's 3 for 4. Worthington from the stretch. 2 on, 2 out, pitch to Baez. And that is a no. What a play by Rollins. Retires a side, and the Twins have won game 1. Holy cow. Winning pitcher is caught, goes 6 1/3. Boswell took a hold of an inning, and Worthington with a big boy save. An inning and a third, gave up a hit, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Loss goes to Lester. 4 2/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. Doubles by Versalles, Rollins, and Batty. Home runs by Rollins, Mitcher, and Ross. Ladies and gentlemen, while you're looking at our brackets again, I'll go ahead and put some music on, which I don't have, and I'll show you the bracket as I set up game 2 of this 7-game series. So please hold on for a moment. We'll get things set up. It's going to be what they call in the system as unscheduled league games, but we'll keep the statistics. So it's unscheduled. We'll go ahead and talk to you while it's going on, but there's the bracket you're going to see. Again, we are in a league non-scheduled format. 2nd game of the tournament. And let's see, we'll go back to Chicago again, and we'll play Minnesota again. We'll go to, I believe I did, for April the 2nd. Let's see if that works. And again, it will be a day game here at Wrigley Field. Looks like it'll be Jake Arrieta against Mudcat Grant. And it'll be Versalles, Rollins, Oliva, Kilbrew, Mitcher at first, Hall, Allison, Batty, and Grant. They put Kilbrew at third versus righties. And against lefties, he plays first. For the Cubs, Fowler, Hayward, Bryant, Rizzo, Russell, Montero, Zobrist, Baez. Oh, we need a DH. I'm sorry. We need that stinking DH. So Kyle Schwarber will come in the lineup. And I'm going to use the Phillies kind of logic here and put him as the leadoff hitter. And we'll go ahead and do that. Rizzo there. Need a righty there. So Hayward will bat 6. But Schwarber will lead off versus righties. For the Twins, Valesbino. He's a hitter, and he should hit against right-handed pitching for the Twins. Yes, he does. He's got some pretty decent numbers. So we'll put his bat. Ooh, a lot of lefties on this team. So we'll go ahead and put him in front of Allison. So it'll be Versalles, Rollins, Oliva, Kilbrew, Mitcher, Hall, Valespino, Allison, and Batty. Game 2 of the 7-game series. Again, maybe we'll play 3 if necessary. See how you guys are out there who's watching, and we'll kind of keep things up. Let's go ahead and play ball. Oops, invalidate. Ooh, I had a March. Let's go and put April back in. So April 2nd, it's a great day to play baseball, so weather's not going to affect anything. And there is game 2. Let's go ahead. There you go, guys. Get back to the game. And there it is. Baseball back here at Wrigley Field. I had the other picture of Wrigley that I was using. Let's make sure I got that set up here for Chicago National League 2016. And that'll be picture 554. So 554 is the measure. Let's go ahead. I don't mind that picture, but I think they're just too close together. For fielding, the ones I've been using have really nice locks, and it makes it a little bit bigger. So here is Versalles, who'll lead off. Let's see who we still have poking around here. Thank you. Those are here. That will be, yeah, that'd be huge. And so a win for the Twinkies. So thank you, Ben, for staying. I appreciate you. Barbara, if you're still here, we'll go ahead. 40 minutes play a game. Yeah, that took a little bit long because of decisions that we made. But here's Versalles against Jake Arrieta. 18-8, 3.10 ERA, 138 hits, 197 innings, 16 bombs. Again, like Lester, can't hold. He's a +6. Let's see if Minnesota uses after advantage. Versalles was 1 for 5 in the opener. Here's a pitch from Arrieta to Versalles. That is a catch X. That's a pop-up, makes the catch and 1 away. So he gets the first man out. Here is Rich freaking Rollins. He was hitting, what's that, 3 for 5 with a double home run RBI, hitting an even 600. So Arrieta, the windup. Here's a pitch to Rich Rollins. Ground ball to short, picked up by Addison Russell, throws him out, and there's 2 outs. Here's Tony Oliva, loves hitting against the right-handed pitching. Arrieta with the windup. Here's the pitch to Tony O. And that's a walk to Tony. And here's Killebrew. He was 0 for 4 in the opener. He steps up. Arrieta with the windup. Here's the pitch to Killebrew. And Killebrew hits a line drive. It's caught by Bryant. 1 inning of play is done. Minnesota nothing. Here come the Cubbies. So Kyle Schwarber will be up. He walked his only appearance. Mudcat Grant on the mound. 21-7, 3.20 ERA. Loves pitching into right-handed pitching. Lefties, not so much. We'll see how Wrigley treats him today. Singles are 1-7, 1-9 to lefties, which he has a bunch. Home runs are 1-15. Grant with the windup. Here's the pitch. That's a 5-8 fly ball center field. Hall is there. Makes the catch 1 away. Here's Dexter Fowler. 0 for 4 in the opener. Grant with the windup. Here's the pitch to Fowler. And that's a strikeout 2 away. Here is Chris Bryant. He was 1 for 4 in opener with an RBI. Grant with a windup. Here's the pitch. That will be a line drive to first base. 1 inning of play. No score here at Wrigley. The Cubs are down 1-0. Here's Arrieta. Looks in. Pitches to Don Mincher. Home 1 for 1. Home run RBI. Pinch hit home run in game 1. Here's a pitch to Don. And that's going to be a strikeout. And here's Jim Hall. Hall is 1 for 4 in the opener with a ribby. Arrieta with the windup. Here's the pitch to Hall. And that's a strikeout 2 away. So good start there. Here is, how you say his first? Oh, Sandy. Sandy Vellaspino. Likes hit right-handed pitching, so it's a good spot for him. Arrieta with the windup. Pitch to Vellaspino. And that's a walk. So now with Vellaspino on, you could run on Arrieta. With Montero on the mound, holy cow, it is a +5. So yeah, it doesn't get picked either. So he gets an opportunity. Let's see if he runs. 53% says yes. There he goes. He's safe. Stolen base for Sandy Vellaspino. Runner on second, 2 out. Here's Bob Allison. Arrieta from the stretch. Pitch to Allison. And that's a strikeout. We played an inning and a half. No score here at Wrigley. Minnesota leads the series 1-0. Grant with the windup. Here's the pitch to Rizzo. Rizzo was 0 for 5 in the opener. Sound like the Anthony Rizzo we had with the Yankees. Asking Mudcat Grant. He's a rating of 2E11. Fields it, throws him out, and Rizzo continues to not hit. He's 0 for 6. Here's Addison Russell. Grant with the windup. Here's a pitch to him. That's going to be a line drive deep left field. That's going to be trouble over Jim Hall's head. It's a double for Russell. So now here is Hayward. Runner on second, 1 man out. Grant from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Hayward. That will be a ground ball to second. Rollins got it. Russell the third. There's 2 outs. Here's Miguel Montero. Grant from the stretch. Runner on third, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball to short. Picked up by Dean Ambrose. Versalles throws him out, and the side is retired. We played 2. Minnesota nothing, and the Cubs nothing. So it'll be Batty, followed by Versalles and Rollins. So here it is, Arrieta. No score, top of the third. Pitch to Earl Batty. Earl Batty, line drive. Oh, base hit just through the field. So Baez and Russell was a seeing eye base hit. Batty, no speed, will stay still. Here's Zolio. He's 0 for 1. 1 for 6 so far in the series. Arrieta from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Zolio. That's going to be a ground ball short. Goes to second. No throw to first as Versalles beat it. There's 1 away, and now Versalles can definitely run. 22% says he can, and he will. Here's a stolen base. He makes it. And goes the third on a Montero error. So Zolio, Versalles, and the Twins use their speed. So Versalles now at third with 1 out for Rich Rollins. Arrieta from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Rollins. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Arrieta. He's a 1, and he throws it away. He could not come up with it. He threw a little looper to Rizzo, who cannot make the play. Run scores, and the Twins lead 1-0 here in game 2 in the third inning. Here's Tony O. Tony walked his first time up. No hits in 3 at-bats. Has an RBI and a couple of walks. Arrieta from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Oliva. That's going to be a strikeout, 2 outs. And here's Killebrew. Arrieta now working from the stretch. Rollins at first. Rollins feels froggy, wants to run. And he doesn't. Oh, he may have got picked off. So now we have to see if Rollins got a pick off in his book. If he doesn't, we're calling it back. We're going to call it back. So instant replay has confirmed there is no pickoff on the Rich Rollins card. We will bring back the play. So we'll undo the last play. There is no pickoff, and Rollins just has to hold where he's at. Arrieta from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Killebrew. And that's a base hit. So Arrieta hit hard by that rule. Rollins the third, Killebrew the second. So my rule is if they do a pickoff in the game and there's no pickoff on his actual card, he can't get picked off. He never got picked off during the season. So second and third, 2 out. So the instant replay will go against the Cubbies there. And now here is Don Mitchell, 0 for 1. Arrieta from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. Big play by Russell. Does he make it? Yes, he does. So Arrieta comes off the field, mouths some stuff at the umpire. Minnesota leads 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. Here's Zobrist, followed by Baez and Schwarber. Grant with the windup to Zobrist, stole 2 home runs in game 1. Ground ball to short. Versalles has got it, throws him out 1 away. Cubs with 2 errors so far. Here's Javi Baez. Boy, he had a good game. He was 4 for 5 in the opener. Or I guess he was 3 for 5 in the opener with an RBI. Grant with the windup, pitch to Baez. And Baez line drive caught by Versalles. Hadn't played well. Here's Schwarber, 0 for 1, flied out his first time up. Grant with the windup. Here's the pitch to Schwarber. And that's a fly ball center field. Hall is there, makes the catch, and we go to the fourth. 1-0 Twins. So top of the fourth, Jimmy Hall the bat, 0 for 1. Arrieta with the windup. Here's the pitch to Hall. And Hall with a line drive down the Rizzo, 1 away. Here's Sandy Valaspino. Walked his first time up. Arrieta with the windup and the pitch. And that's going to struck him out. Arrieta with another strikeout, his 5th. And here's Bob Allison. Arrieta with the windup and the pitch to Bob Allison. That's going to be ground ball back to Arrieta. Can he make the plays? Got it. Throws him out. Good play by Arrieta. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Minnesota 1, Cubs 0. Fowler, followed by Bryant and Rizzo. Grant looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Fowler. That's going to be a strikeout for Fowler. So Mudcat Grant, his second strikeout of the game. Grant with the windup. Here's the pitch to Chris Bryant. That's going to be ground ball to short. Good play by Zolio Versalles. 2 outs in the fourth. Here's Anthony Rizzo. 2 outs. Grant with the windup. Here's the pitch to Rizzo. 0 for 6. And he got hit by a pitch. That's what he does. So Rizzo's on at first 2 outs. Here's Addison Russell. 1 for 1 with a double. Grant from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Russell. And Russell with a line drive caught by Versalles retires aside. We go to the fifth. 1-0 Twins. 1-2-0 for the Twins. 0-1-2 for the Cubbies. If we still got people watching want to play, we'll move this game to Metropolitan Stadium for Game 3. Afterwards, we'll see if the Twins can bring a 2-0 lead to the Met, or can the Cubs tie it up going back to the Twin Cities. Arrieta with the windup. Here's the pitch to Batty. And that'll be a ground ball to third, picked up by Bryant. Oh, he can't make the play. Bats it down, and Batty reaches. So Bryant unable to come up with it. Here is Zolio Versalles. He has the lone run so far in the ball game. He has fouled out, reached on a force play. Arrieta from the stretch in the pitch. This will be struck him out. Oh my goodness! Versalles called, third strike. 1 away here. Here's Rich freaking Rollins. Arrieta from the stretch. Run on first and 1 out the pitch. That will be a line drive deep left center field. Zobrist is there. Slides, makes the catch. Good job by Zobrist again. 2 outs in the fifth, and here's Oliva. Walked and struck out. Arrieta looks in from the stretch. Batty not taking much of a lead. Here's the pitch to Oliva. And line popped up to Rizzo. He'll make the catch and retires aside. It's an official game here in Wrigley. It's Minnesota 1 and the Cubs 0. Mudcat Grant had himself a game. Here is Hayward. Again, these are four pitching. This is a 4-man rotation strong with playing it the old basketball rule of 2-2, 1-1, and 1. So again, this could give the chance for the one pitcher to pitch 1, probably 4, and then 7. So that could be a big opportunity for a good starter to come out 3 times. Bottom of the fifth for the Cubs, Hayward followed by Montero and Zobrist. Grant from the stretch in the pitch, or from the windup. That's a line drive base hit for Hayward. The Cubs have their second hit. Let's see if Hayward wants to run. Batty's arm kind of makes it better. It's only on 1-12. Montero's up. Left-handed hitter against Grant. Grant from the stretch in the pitch. That's going to be a line drive in. The gap for a base hit. Hayward will go to third. Still got. And the Cubs have first and third, no man out. Twins will bring the infield in. It's 1-0. Here's Ben Zobrist. Grabbed it out his first time up. Grant from the stretch. Here's the pitch. That will be a line drive again up the middle, base hit. Hayward scores. Montero will go to third, and the Cubs tie this game at 1. Here's Baez now. He's 0 for 1. Grant from the stretch. First and third, nobody out. Pitch to Baez. And that's going to be deep drive, left center field in trouble. Back goes Hall off the top of the wall. Montero scored. Here comes Zobrist. He'll try to score. Throwing for the lead runner. Here's a throw, not in time. And the Cubs lead 3-1. A 2-run double for Javi Baez. So here's Schwarber. 0 for 2, couple flyouts. Grant kind of getting hit hard here. Schwarber walks. First and second, nobody out. So Grant having hard times right now. Here's Fowler, 0 for 2. Grant from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Fowler. Fowler, ground ball double play. Rollins for Solis. The Mitcher gets 2. Baez moves to third. 3-1 ball game. Here's Bryant. Grant from the stretch. Pitch to Bryant. And this will be a line drive in the gap. Hall runs it down by Hall. But the Cubs score 3. We go to the top of the 6th. It's Cubs 3, Twins 1. 3-5-2 for the Cubs. 1-3-0 for the Twins. Top of the 6th here. Game 2 of the best of 7. All right, so I got a few people sitting around here. I'm going to continue to go ahead and keep rocking here. Get a drink here to keep me nourished. Killebrew, Mitcher, and Hall. The bat in the 6th against Jake Arrieta. Arrieta from the windup. Here's the pitch to Killebrew. That's a strikeout, 1 away. Here's Don Mitcher. 0 for 2 after the late inning heroics of a pinch hit home run yesterday. Arrieta with the windup. Here's the pitch to Mitcher. That's going to ground ball to second. Baez with the play. 2 outs. Here's Arrieta to Hall. Hall will hit a little looper caught by the center fielder Fowler. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Chicago 3, Minnesota 1. Rizzo followed by Russell and Hayward. Grant with the windup. Here's the pitch to Rizzo. Ground ball to short. Picks it up. Throws him out. So here is Addison Russell. 1 for 2 with a double. Grant with the windup and the pitch. And 5 ball to left. Allison's there. This is a well-pitched ball game. It's 3-1 Cubs. 2 outs in the 6th. Here is a J.A. kid, Jason Hayward. 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Grant with the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a walk to Hayward. Now we'll see if he can run. 1-12 will probably stay. Here's Montero with a single and a run scored back in the 5th. Grant from the stretch. Pitches to Montero. That will be a ground ball to first. Tough play for Mitcher. Can't make the play. Oh, he doesn't make the play. Hayward will score. No, he goes to third, luckily. Hayward had a stop at third. Montero will go to second on the E3. And the Twins defense are having some problems this series. Second and third, 2 outs, and a big opportunity for Zobrist here. 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Grant from the stretch. Second and third, 2 outs, and the pitch. Here it is. That's ground ball to short. Again, that's Versalles. Comes up, throws. Got it. Good play there by Zolio. And we go to the top of the 7th. 3-1 Cubbies. Now we can start the pinch hitting express if there's anyone now wants to use. Arrieta working his 7th inning of work. Valaspino, who hits righties, will stay in, followed by Allison and Batty. So most guys you'll probably see bat. Arrieta with the windup to Valaspino. 6-5, ground ball to short, picked up by Russell, throws him out 1 away. So 1 away there. So now here is Allison. Allison 0 for 2. Arrieta with the windup, pitches to Allison, and that's going to ground ball to short. Russell's got it. 2 outs. There's Batty. He's 2 for 2. He so far is 4 for 6 so far in the series. Batty, right-handed hitter. Arrieta with the windup and the pitch. And that's a walk. So now with 1 on, a 2-run lead, 7th inning for Zolio Versalles is 0 for 3. Arrieta from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Zolio. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. Good play by Baez. Got it. Throws him out. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Cubs lead 3-1. So now Mudcat Grant needs to keep it where it is. It's Baez, Schwarber, and Fowler. Grant from the windup pitches to him. And that's a fly ball center field. Hall is there, makes the catch. Now let's see what we do here. With a 2-run lead, Mudcat Grant will pitch to Kyle Schwarber, I think. We'll see if they decide to make a move here. And Jim Merritt will come in. So Merritt will be the new pitcher. So Merritt comes in. We'll see if that changes the thought process for the Cubbies. We'll see what Joe Madden does. Usually he's the kind of king of making moves. They got a guy who can come in. Probably you don't want to use your catcher, and probably could be a Mora, the backup outfielder. So let's see here. There is 5 guys in the hitting well. Amora, Ross, Solar, Zuster, and Wilson Contreras. Guys who can hit. So we'll go ahead and roll 6-sided die. That's who will be used. A 6 will be my choice of the highest OPS here. They got some guys who can hit. Let's see. It's a 1, so Amora will come in. He'll be the new designated hitter. Again, kind of did that as a let's see what will happen. So Amora will come in. Merritt's going to have to stay in there. Amora, 277 on his season, 112 at-bats. Did play in the World Series. That's why he's on the roster. Merritt, the windup, pitches to Amora, and that's a strikeout. Good job. So 2 outs. Here's Dexter Fowler's 0 for 3. Hits righties, the lefty's about the same. He's actually 0 for 7 on the series, so he's been kind of a little struggle so far. Merritt with the windup and the pitch. And Merritt, deep fly left field down the line. Back goes Allison. It's deep, and it's gone. Home run, Dexter Fowler. Cubs lead it 4-1. So Jim Merritt hung one down there, and it just got out of here down the left field line. 4-1 Cubbies. So here's Chris Bryant. Merritt with the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be deep and gone. Boy, that's going to say hello, gone. Back-to-back, belly to belly. So the Cubs lead at 5-1. Back-to-back shots. Back-to-back jacks, as somebody would say. Fowler and Bryant say goodbye, baseball. Here's Anthony Rizzo. So the Cubs pulling away here. Merritt with the windup to Rizzo. And that's a strikeout. We go to the top of the 8th inning. It's 5-1 Cubs. So now in the 8th inning, Rollins, followed by Oliva and Kilbrew, hit against Jake Arrieta. Going to stay out there. He's been strong. Here's the pitch to Rollins. Rollins, a strikeout. Arrieta with 8. Here's Oliva, 0 for 2 and a walk. Arrieta with the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball to short. Hit at Russell's. Got it. Throws him out. 2 outs. Here's Harmon Kilbrew. Kilbrew so far in the ball game, 1 for 3. Arrieta with the windup. Here's the pitch to Kilbrew. And that's a strikeout. 8 strong innings for Jake Arrieta. He's officially tired. So go to the bottom 8th inning. 6-1. It is a 5-1 ball game. Russell followed by Hayward and Montero. Merritt with the windup. Here's the pitch to Russell. That's a hit by pitch. So Russell takes first base. Merritt looks in from the stretch. Here's Hayward. 1 for 2 with a run scored. And that's going to be a double center field. So Hayward against the lefty. Russell had the third. Holds right there on the Cubs trying to put this one away. Second and third, no outs for Miguel Montero. 2 for 3 and a run scored. If you bring in David Ross, you're going to get a righty and David Ross will come in. A little better catcher, too. So Ross will come in, and the Twins will make a move. Absolutely will not need to roll for that one. And let's see who they have who can bring out. Let's bring David Boswell. Bring Mr. Boswell out again. Again, he'd be the one to kind of keep things going. Second and third, 2 outs. Infield has to be in. Boswell, the righty, to David Ross. And that's going to be a walk. And the Cubs just looking to pour it on now. Bases loaded, nobody out, up by 4. And here's Zobrist, 1 for 3 at the RBI. Boswell from the stretch and the pitch. This will be a ground ball to second. Good play, goes home, gets the man out. So it's now still a 5-1 ball game, 1 out. That will be scored 4-2. And here's Baez. Bases loaded, 1 out. Baez had a double and 2 RBIs back in the 5th. Boswell from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Baez. And that's going to be a line drive to Kilbrew, 2 out. So the Twins trying to stop the Cubs from scoring, giving them a chance. Here's Amora. Stayed in as a DH, 0 for 1. Now with the righty out there, the Cubs may try another option. They'll probably bring back Jorge Solar here. So Solar will bat for Amora. Again, DH for DH here. So Solar comes in. Boswell from the stretch and the pitch. This will be a line drive. Base hit for Solar. That'll keep the merry-go-round going at 6-1 Cubs. RBI single for Solar, 6-1 Chicago. Here's Fowler, 1 for 4. Home run back in the 7th inning. Boswell from the stretch and the pitch. That's going to be a walk and keep the merry-go-round going. Put the corner in and keep going around. 7-1 Cubbies. Here's Bryant, 1 for 4. Had a back-to-back jack on with Fowler back in the 7th. Boswell from the stretch and the pitch. That's going to be a pop-up to short. Versalles is there. Mix the catch. And we go to the top of the ninth. Cubs 7, Minnesota 1. If there's enough people who want to watch and play, we will go ahead and play game 3. We'll move it to Minnesota. Again, we'll show you the graphics of the tournament. We'll go ahead and switch real quick. And now the ninth is Mitchell. If you don't and you want to leave, then I know I'll go maybe finish it at this point. But right now, we'll probably at least play 3 and play the next one. Arrieta with the windup. Here's a pitch to Mitchell. He's already tired and struck him out. So 10 strikeouts from Jake Arrieta. Arrieta with the windup to Jim Hall. He's there 0 for 3. This game, the Twins aren't hitting anything. Line drive down the first. Rizzo with the play. There's 2 outs. Cubs fans on their feet, looking to tie this series up. Arrieta with the windup. Pitch to Valaspino. And that's going to be a line drive in the gap. Fowler makes the catch in the side. Retired. Cubs win. Cubs win. So the Cubs even the series at 1. The Cubbies 7-10-2. The Twins 1-3-1. Arrieta with the win, goes all the way, gives up 3 hits, 1 run not earned, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts. Loss goes to Grant, 6 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned. The bullpen kind of got tattered around. Merritt 2/3, 3 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, was definitely a downer. The doubles by Kilbrew, Russell, Hayward, and Baez. Home runs by Fowler and Bryant. The winners are the Cubs 7-1. We are tied at 1. Okay, folks, let's go ahead again, get out real quick. We'll go back to the chat, see who's here. It's 4 people in. Oh, my goodness. Let's go ahead. Let's go play another game. All right, let's play again, folks. I have 4 people here. I'm not going to let 4 people go off without a game. So let's go ahead and bring you the graphics again. The graphics of the ball game, which we know is the bracket. So go ahead and watch that for a minute while I talk. And I'll go ahead and set game 3 up from Metropolitan Stadium back in Minnesota. So this should be fun. Let's go ahead and get that all set up for you. And we'll go ahead and get the next game in. So now is be a new, not new scheduled game. We're going to go ahead and, come on, let's see. So this will be, let's do this first. So let's see if we can get rate the day off first. Let's see, I know it's here. Just stats, create email. Nope, that's not, I know it's here. Come on, create data league. Import daily schedule maintenance. Hang on. Let's see. Give me a second. Let me find the day off. All-Star game. It's probably right in here. I should have it set up. I don't know why it's not letting me do this. So let's see. I know it's here. So let me find that real quick. It's kind of important. I know it's, let's see. Oh, there it is. Cannot give the day. Oh, got to go to individual teams. Let's go to Minnesota. They're the ones who played so far. And we'll go ahead and give the day off. Now I know where it's at. So generate, give team a day off, 1 day off, ding. And then we go to Minnesota's playing the Cubbies. Let's go to team. Let's go ahead and give them a day off. Give team a day off. That'll be 1 day off, ding. And then we go to the game. Let's go to the unscheduled game. And again, we're playing in a league game, and we're using the DH. And this will be at home, the Minnesota Twins. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, it'll be the 1965 Twins. They're the home team this time. And then we go to Chicago. The Chicago Cubs come in. They'll be the home team. Again, we're going to try April, 1st, 2nd, give a day off, play it on the 4th. Cold day in Minnesota, I'm assuming. And again, this will be, we'll play another day game here. It's a nice day for a game, so it may affect the weather a little bit. Let's see. No, it's not going to be Lester again. Can't do that. Can't be Lester or Arrieta. So we'll go to Kyle Hendricks here. He'll be the 3rd starter. And for the Minnesota Twins, it may have to be Carmine Pascual again. Let's see if he's the best guy here for a start. My question is, Jim Perry's still waiting. Ooh, let's see. Who do I want? Let's go to Carmine Pascual. He'll go ahead and be the starter. So right-handed pitcher Pascual, righty Hendricks, Fowler, Hayward, Bryant, Rizzo, Russell, Montero, Zobrist, and again the righty on the mound. We'll go ahead and move Schwarber back to the top of the lineup where he can lead off, and it's going to be a righty. So let's see, what can we do to make this lineup a little bit more juicier? Left, right. And let's it's left, right, left. Ooh, let's see. Got left, right, two lefties there. Ooh, hang on. Let's see. Do I have another righty that wants to hit this far up in the lineup? Let's put Rizzo there, and maybe put Russell hitting fourth just to split some of these guys up. So we'll do that. I'll get back to the actual broadcast in a minute, folks. Against Versalles, Rollins, Oliva, Kilbrew at third, Mitchell at first, Hall, Allison, Batty, and Valspino. He'll be fine where he's at, unless we want to move him up the lineup somewhere. They need to find him. Get to right-handed pitching. Kind of saw a little bit of a problem there. So let's go ahead and put Valspino eighth, batting ninth. Again, it's Pasquale and Hendricks from Metropolitan Stadium. We'll go ahead and bring that back into play so you guys can see that pop up. Again, we're going to change stadiums as I'm not a fan of what we're going to have here. So we'll go ahead and change it to something a little more desirable. So Minnesota will be from 1965. Let's see what the ballpark will look like then. 338 will be my picture. So 338 will be the picture here. And we'll go ahead and play game 3. Series tied at 1. Oops. Didn't hit that right. So picture 338. 338. Oh, oops. That's not what I wanted. Shoot. Don't want to do that. Okay. So 338 is there. And there it is. There is Metropolitan Stadium. Game 3, April 3rd. So let's go ahead and get this started. Are we ready for some baseball? Let's go. Bring you all in, folks. Please like, please subscribe if you're here. We'll probably make this last game. This will get us to about an hour and a half so on the stream, unless somebody comes out and says, yeah, play game 4. And I'll go ahead and play it. So we'll see how well this goes. We'll take a little nourishment. Schwarber followed by Bryant and Rizzo against Carmine Pasquale. Schwarber is 0 for 2, 2 walks. Pasquale and the pitching were off. That's going to be a strikeout for Schwarber, 1 away. Here's Chris Bryant. He's 2 for 9, home run, 2 RBIs. Pasquale with the windup. Here's the pitch. That'll be a strikeout for Pasquale, 2 away. Here's Anthony Rizzo, 0 for 8, 3 strikeouts with the hit batsman. Pasquale with the windup to Rizzo. And that's a ground ball to first. Mitchell to the bag. And 3 up, 3 down. Bottom first, no score. Here is Solio Versalles, 1 for 9, a double so far. On the mound, Kyle Hendricks. Good year from Kyle, 2.13 ERA, 16 and 8. May not have a lot of innings, though. This could be the thing. Hendricks will wind up pitch to Versalles, and he hits a line drive. That's caught by Russell, 1 away. Good play. Here's Rich freaking Rollins, 3 for 9, home run and RBI. Hendricks with a wind-up pitch to Rollins. That'll be ground ball to short. Russell with the play. 2 outs. Hendricks looks into Tony Oliva. 0 for his first 6, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. And that's a strikeout. So good start for Kyle Hendricks. Top 2, no score. Here's Addison Russell. He's hitting 286, nothing, just a double. Pasquale with the windup to Russell. And that'll be a fly ball right field. That will be Tony Oliva. Comes in and, oh, he dropped the ball. Oliva, again, could not make the play. Russell will head to second and makes it. E9. Another error for the Twins. Here's Hayward now. Pasquale from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Hayward. That will be a fly ball center field. Hall is there. No, he does not make the play. Hall drops the ball. Russell will head to third, scores, and Hayward moves to second. Second error of the inning for the Twins as they're playing hot potato with it. So Allison would be the next with the error as Oliva and Hall have now made errors. And here's Dexter Fowler. So Pasquale for the stretch. Here's the pitch to Fowler. And that's a strikeout. 1-0 Cubs. Top of the second, 1 out. And here is Miguel Montero. Pasquale with the windup pitches to Montero. And Montero is a line drive base hit for Montero. First and third, 1 out. Here's Zobrist. So the Cubs getting some hits early here. Pasquale from the stretch. First and third, 1 out. That'll be a line drive right field. Oliva, he's there, makes the catch, and Hayward will score easy. 2-0 Cubs in the second. So unearned runs here. Pasquale now pitching from the stretch to Javi Baez. 4 for 9, 3 RBIs in the pitch. That will be a ground ball to second. He's hit at Rich Rollins, and he makes the play. Holy cow, that was gross. They put Rich Rollins at second? Whoa, let's see if that can be fixed. Why in the heck was he at second base? So hang on, as they say. Hang on, folks. So let's go ahead and put the home team up. Oh, Kilbrew at second. Rich freaking Rollins is horrible at second. Why? And he's hitting the ball too. Oh, goodness gracious. I guess he stays in there. Oh, my goodness. That fielding range is absolutely disgusting. That's not going to help these Twins at all. That's where maybe Rollins sits against righties and put a guy with a glove out there. You know what? We may have to do that as a we didn't see that type thing. So 2-0 Chicago. Killebrew, Mitcher, Hall to come up. Hendricks with a windup pitches to Killebrew. That's strikeout for Killebrew. Here's Mitcher. He so far is 1 for 5 with that home run. Killebrew with the windup and the pitch. And that's a fly ball to center. Hendricks will get it done. Fowler with the catch, and there's 2 outs. Here's Jimmy Hall. He's 1 for 8 with an RBI. Hendricks with the windup and the pitch to Hall. And that's strikeout. Good job, Kyle Hendricks. 2 out, 2 away. 2-2. It's a 2-0 ball game for the Cubs. Yeah, let's make that change. So Minnesota will go ahead and make a corresponding move here, as I was totally grossed out. So we'll put Quichi's the better player, but we'll bring Jimmy Kendall. Kendall will come out for Rollins and play second. Much better fielder. So 2E32 was a lot better than what Rollins was. Pascal with the pitch to Kyle Schwarber, and he struck him out 1 away. Good job by Pasquale. Right-handed pitcher for Pasquale looks and gets assigned to Chris Bryant. And that's a spin goal for Chris Bryant. Gets the job done. Here's Rizzo. 0 for 1. Looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 9. Pasquale from the stretch. That will be ground ball to first. Mitcher could be a tough play. Does he make it? Only plays the first. Bobbled it. Got to second. Bryant moves to second. 2 away. So it caught a piece of the mound, basically, and allowed Mitcher to stay with it, make the play, 2 outs. And there's Addison Russell, 0 for 1 with the run scored. Pasquale from the stretch. And that's going to be a walk, first and second, 2 out. Cubs try to put this away early. Here's Hayward, 0 for 1, a run scored. Pasquale from the stretch. And that's a ground ball to first. Again, hit at Mitcher, makes the play, and does. Good job there again. It went off the mound again. So, again, off the football field probably. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 Cubs. So, bottom third, 2-0 Cubs. Game 3 of this best of 7, this March Madness tournament. Again, the 5th inning, I'll go ahead and put up the March Madness bracket where you'll be looking at. It's going to be a long tournament. Please stay with us. Hendricks with a windup, pitch to Allison. That'll be a walk to Allison, so the Twins now give a base runner. Here's Sandy Valaspino. He is 0 for 3. Hendricks now from the stretch in the pitch. That will be a line drive in the gap for a base hit. Allison will go to third. Valaspino with his first hit, and the Twins have first and third, nobody out. So the Twins trying to make a little comeback. Here's Batty. Hendricks from the stretch. The pitch to Batty. That's a line drive caught. Oh, what a play by Chris Bryant. Comes up with a startler. Here's Zolio Versalles. He's 0 for 1, 1 for 10 in the tournament. Hendricks from the stretch. Pitch to Versalles. That will be a line drive. Base hit. This one goes through. Allison scores, and it's a 2-1 ball game. RBI, Zolio Versalles. First and second, 1 out. Here's Kendall, his first at bat. He is 1 for 2 in the tournament. Hendricks from the stretch. Pitch to Kendall. Kendall, the pop up the third. Bryant is there, makes the catch. There's 2 outs. And here's Tony Oliva. Hendricks from the stretch. The pitch to Oliva. And the pitch. Base hit Oliva. That'll score Valaspino. Versalles the third. It's a 2-2 ball game. The Twins fight back. Here's Kilbrew. 1 for 9 in the tournament. Struggling so far. Hendricks from the stretch. Pitches to Kilbrew. That'll be a line drive. The third retires aside. Well, we played 3. Game 3. It's 2-2 heading to the 4th. We're series tied at 1. Well, this wasn't regarding, I think Hal probably put the stats together, and I kind of just noticed the defensive ratings right there, so I want to get him out of there because that was just awful. Here is Fowler, followed by Montero and Zobrist. Pasquale, the lineup that Fowler, 1 for 9, only hits a home run. And that's the ground ball to short. Hit at Versalles, comes up, throws him out 1 away. Good play there by Zolio. And now here is Miguel Montero, 1 for 1. 3 for 4 so far in the tournament. Good set of catchers for Ross and Montero on this team. Pasquale with the windup and the pitch. That will be a ground ball back to Pasquale. He's got it, throws him out for the second out. Pasquale, a great fielding pitcher, makes the play. 2 outs in the fourth for Benny Zobrist. Pasquale with the windup, the pitch to Zobrist. And that's going to be a line drive caught, and we go to the bottom of the fourth. 2-2s to score. Mitcher, Hall, and Allison. Hendricks looks in, gets the sign, pitch to Don Mitcher. And that's a fly ball center. Fowler is there, one away. And now here's Hall, who's 0 for 1. Hendricks with the windup and the pitch. That will be a ground ball to short, picked up by Russell's. Got it, throws him out, 2 outs. So now here is, again, Bob Allison. Walked his first time up, no hits through 7 at-bats. Hendricks with the windup and the pitch. That's a walk, so Allison reaches. Now Hendricks is a 0 arm, +2s with basically an even running rating. He gets it on, doesn't get it. So Allison stays at first. 2 outs for Sandy Velospino, 1 for 1. Hendricks from the stretch and the pitch. Velospino struck him out. Good job by Kyle Hendricks. 2-2, we head to the 5th. 2-3-0 for Chicago, 2-3-2 for the Twins. From Metropolitan Stadium, home of the Minnesota Twins, top of the 5th, series tied at 1. Pasquale with the windup, pitch to Baez. That will be a pop-up to first. Mitcher there makes the catch and 1 away. Here's Schwarber, 0 for 2. Pasquale with the windup and the pitch. That will be a deep drive, left center field. Allison back, makes the catch. Home run on a 1. Roll to 20, the reverse. 2 outs. Here's Bryant, 1 for 2. Hitting .273 as a home run, 2 ribbies. Pasquale with the windup to Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant drive to left center field. Back goes Allison, way back, down the line, gone. Chris Bryant, second home run of the tournament. It's 3-2 Cubs. So now there's Anthony Rizzo, 0 for 2. Pasquale with the windup, pitch to Rizzo. And Rizzo, line drive base hit. First hit of the tournament for Anthony Rizzo. Here's Addison Russell, 0 for 1 run scored. Pasquale from the stretch. This will be a ground ball to third. Goes to second for the force. Cubs lead 3-2. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Minnesota needs to win this because then we go to the 4th game of the series. Then we move back to Chicago for Game 5. Hendricks with a windup, pitch to Batty. And Batty with a line drive, and no, it's caught. 1-5 single, rolled to 6. So good play there by Russell. Cubs defense coming up strong this series. Hendricks with a windup to Versalles. He's 1 for 2 and an RBI. So Zolio, ground ball to third. Bryant's got it, throws him out, 2 outs. And here's Kendall, who's 0 for 1. Hendricks with a windup, pitch to Kendall. And that's a ground ball back to the mound, throws him out, and we played 5, 3-2 Cubs. 3-5-0 for the Cubs, 2-3-2 for the Twins. Hayward, followed by Fowler and Montero. Pasquale with the windup. Here's the pitch to Hayward. And this will be a line drive right field. Again, that's weird. Home run on a 1, rolled to 20 for the second time. Here's Fowler. Pasquale with the windup, pitch to Fowler. This will be a fly ball right field. Top play for Oliva. He makes this catch. Finally, Oliva pulls that in, 2 away. It's top of the 6th and 2 out for Montero. 1 for 2 of a single back in the 2nd. He is so far pretty hot so far, 4 for 5. Pasquale with the windup to Montero. And Montero, ground ball to first. Mitcher takes to the bag himself. We have 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the 6th, 3-2 Cubs. Here's Oliva, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Hendricks with the windup to Oliva. That will be a ground ball to second. Baez with the play, 1 away. Here's Kilbrew, 0 for 2, 1 for 10 in the series. Hendricks with a windup and a pitch to Kilbrew. That's a strikeout, 2 away in the 6th. Here's Mitcher. Hendricks looks in. Here's the pitch to Don Mitcher. This will be a fly ball right field. Hayward's there. Makes the catch. We go to the 7th. 3-2 Cubbies. Zobrist, Baez, Schwarber to bat in the 7th. Carmine Pasquale's kind of struggling through things here. He's getting it done. 3-5-0 Chicago, 2-3-2 Twins. Pasquale with the windup to Zobrist. That will be a ground ball to second again. That's Kendall. He throws it away. Kendall unable to make the play. And an error on it. Jeez, that's another error for the Twins. I'm getting really good at throwing my mouse off the table, but at least it's not a wireless mouse and it breaks, so that's good. So let's go back to the game here. Sorry about that. I lost what I was doing. Hope I didn't break up the seam. I'm sorry. Get back in there. Sorry, we're back. Thank you, folks, for the 3 likes. I got 3 in here. People want to stay. I'll try to get another game, and hopefully I can stay nourished, and we can. Yeah, sorry about that. As soon as the screen goes down, you lose kind of the game for a minute. So, top of the 7th, 3-2. Here is Baez. He's 1 for 2. And the pitch. So here it is. Line drive, left center field. That's trouble. Zobrist is going to go off the wall. 1-13 for Zobrist. Nobody out. On deck is Schwarber. And they will hold the runner with a 1-run lead with Schwarber up. But that should actually end the day for Mr. Pascal. Let's see what his rating is. And he's only a 6, so he's tired by the next hit anyway. So Jim Merritt, he's got to come in and make a huge pitch here. He got bombed in his first outing. Merritt pitches the lefties extremely well, but I don't think it's a 6. It's a 7, so the Cubs can't do a little pinch inning. Let's see who's on this Cub bench again. Almora, Ross, Solar, Score, and Contreras. Guys who can hit. Let's roll the die. I'll say this time, if it's a 6, no pinch hitting. Here's a swing. It's a 4. So it'll be a new guy here. So Score, 185 at bats, hit 259. He had 5 home runs and 24 RBIs. So got a good power for it. So he'll come in and bat again. I didn't want to just randomly pick somebody. Go ahead and put C. Is pronounced SZCZUR. So he'll come in and hit for Schwarber just to get the lefty out of there. Again, Merritt has to pitch to a righty effectively. Infield in. Merritt from the stretch. And that's going to be a fly ball left field. That's Allison. Can he make the play? He does. But Zobrist will tag. He does. And it's 4-2 Cubs. And they'll hold the runner at second. So now here's Bryant, 2 for 3 at the home run. Bat is starting to heat up. And let's see who's on deck. They'll walk him. They'll go ahead and give the 4 balls to Bryant. First and second, one out. Here's Rizzo. Merritt from the stretch in the pitch. And Chris, that's a line drive base. Oh, it's caught, I think. On an 8, single, 1-6. So, yes, line drive to Kindle, 2 outs. Here's Russell, 0 for 2 and a run scored. Big opportunity for Jim Merritt to get him out this inning. Here's the pitch. And that's a strikeout for Jim Merritt. He gets the job done. We go to the 7th inning stretch here in Minnesota. Chicago 4, Twins 2. If we got people want to stay for game 4 of the series, you got time out there, let me know. We'll go ahead and play it. So here's Hendricks going to Jim Hall. And now we have fly ball left field. Zobrist is there, 1 away. And now here's Allison. Hendricks with a windup and the pitch. That will be a ground ball to second. Good play by Baez, throws him out, 2 outs. This Cub defense is really strong. And they got starters who can give you length if you let them. They do got slower ratings. Hendricks with a windup to Sandy Valaspino. Valaspino a single to right field. Base hit number 4. Now the fun time begins. Does Valaspino get a lead? We'll look at his ratings. He does 2-6 and a 9. He can run 1-15. Down by 2 runs. They're going to try to steal. And he doesn't get it, so he holds. So here's Batty. He's 0 for 2 so far. 4 for 8 in the series. Hendricks from the stretch. And that's going to be a ground ball. Ooh, does he get hurt? Yes, he is. But he shakes it off. How about that? He shakes off the daily injury. We go to the 8th. It's 4-2 Cubs. So Merritt will stay out there. Pitch to Hayward, Fowler, and Montero. If it's Ross, probably get a pinch hitter, our new pitcher. Merritt pitches to Hayward. No outs in the 8th. 4-8, 5 ball to center. Jim Merritt getting the job done here. And now here's Dexter Fowler. He's 0 for 3 today. Cubs out hitting the Twins 6-4. Twins have 3 errors. Merritt with the windup and pitch to Fowler. And that's a deep drive down the left field line. Back comes Allison, makes the catch at the track. Good job, 2 outs. It was a home run on a 1-9, rolled to 14. Here's Montero, 1 for 3. Merritt looks in, gets the sign, pitches to Montero, stays in the game. 5 ball to center. Hall is there, makes the catch. We head to the bottom of the 8th, 4-2 Cubs. Versalis, Kindle, Oliva, and again, Kyle Hendricks out there. Hendricks looks in, and the pitch to Versalis. And that's a fly ball right field. Hayward's there, 1 away. Here's Kindle. Now, what do the Twins do? They do got some peoples on the bench. Let's see, not somebody with great stats. That's a problem. They'll bring the backup infielder Frank Quichi. He'll hit. He has a little bit of better defender and can hit righties a little better. So far on the year, he's been as a fielder mostly, has not gotten official at bat. Hendricks with the windup and the pitch. That will be a catch, Jack. So back behind the plate, Montero gets it, pop up, makes the catch. 2 outs. So now here is Oliva, 1 for 3 of the RBI. Hendricks with the windup and the pitch, and that's going to be a line drive base hit for Oliva. So now the tying run comes up for Harmon Killebrew. Ooh, what do the Cubs do? This is Joe Madden. He probably plays the book here and brings in probably, I believe it's going to be, let's bring him out there. We'll kind of see what his name is again. I've been seeing his name around. Oh, yeah, it is Hector. Hector Rodon. 5R, pitches much better against right-handed pitching. Gives up home run balls. But here in Minnesota, home runs are only a 1-8. So it's not a bad situation. Bottom of the 8th, 2 out, 4-2 Chicago. Killebrew against Rodon. Rodon from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Killebrew. And that's going to be a strikeout for Rodon. We go to the 9th, 4-2 Cubs. So Rodon does his job. And that will be Chappie, or Lotus Chapman. Gets up in the Cubs bullpen, who had a pull from the Yankee team. He'll be he'll be ready if Rodon can't finish the 9th. New second baseman will be Quichi. He'll go to second, much better fielder. 9th inning for the Cubs. 4-6-0 for the Cubs. 2-5-3 for Minnesota. Zobrist, Baez, and Secor again will bat. Merritt from the windup, pitch to Zobrist. That'll be a fly ball left field. That's Allison. Makes the catch, one away. Good job by Bob. So now here's Baez. Baez in the ball game so far is 2 for 3. Hitting the ball extremely well. 6 for 12, 2 doubles, 3 ribbies. Merritt with the windup and the pitch. That will be a line drive deep left center field. Another hit for Baez. It's a double. So now here's Secor now. On deck is Bryant. You're not going to see Merritt pitch to him, that's for sure. So here comes the Twin manager. He'll try to probably make a corresponding big move. And they've already used Boswell twice. He's considered to be healthy. Probably wouldn't go back to him again. And now your problem is we'll bring in Clipstein here. Better against left-handed pitching. Johnny Clipstein. We'll see if he can hold on here. Runner on second, 1 out. Clipstein with a pitch to Secor. And that's a fly ball left field. Allison's there, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. And now here's Chris Bryant. The game on the line for Chris, 2 for 3. He's now officially 4 for 12 with 2 homers and 3 RBIs. Clipstein from the stretch. And that will be a fly ball right field. Oliva makes the catch, and boy, he needed that one. Let's head to the bottom of the 9th inning, 4-2 Cubs. So now it's going to be Mitchell, followed by Hall and Allison. You know what? It's going to have to be Chapman. Because why? He gets lefties out. So here comes our Lotus. He's actually a 2R this year. So here comes our Lotus. Oh, he gives up our walks anyway. We'll see if that matters. Home run power for Mitchell still exists. We'll see if the Twins want to go to a pinch hitter for him here. That would be Nosek again or Andy Costco. Costco only 55 at-bats. Nosek with 170 at-bats, but not as good of a hitter. Do you leave Mitchell out? Oh, no, probably not. Only 175. Let's bring Andy Costco in. He'll swing against Don Mitchell, and that'll just force Killebrew probably to come back to first. So Costco to hit. He'll be a pinch hitter. First time in the series. Chapman looks in, and the pitch. And that's a strikeout for Chapman. Went fast, went hard. And he did not know what hit him. 1 away in the 9th. Here's Hall. He's 0 for 3. And he prefers hitting against lefties. Not much on that side. Boy, the Twins get kind of weak against left-handed pitching here. Center fielder, who is a backup, that could be Nosek here. Nosek will hit for Hall. Again, trying to turn the tables on Chapman here. Nosek to hit. Chapman looks in and the pitch. And that's going to be a strikeout for Chapman, 2 away. Oh, he's got that stare down. 2 outs in the 9th. Cubs are 1 out away from taking the 2-1 lead in the series. Allison the hit, 0 for 1 run scored. Chapman with the windup and the pitch. This will be line drive caught by Bryant, retires aside. The Chicago Cubs have now won 2 of their last 3. They lead the series 2-1. Cubs win 4-2, 2 in the second, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the seventh, while the Twins had 3 and 2 in the third. And that was it. 4-7-0 for the Cubs, 2-5-3 for the Twins. Cubs lead 2-1. Doubles by Baez had 2, gave him 3. Home runs by Chris Bryant, his second. RBIs in the ballgame, Secor got 1. Bryant, his third RBI. Zobrist, his second. Vercelli's his second. Oliva, his second. Do we play game 4? Let's go ahead and look to our chat. See who's here. See who's watching. We got 4 likes, folks. So, play it on, okay? All right, happy tonight. Okay, let's go ahead and play game 4, and then we'll be finished here, folks. We're about an hour and 30 minutes. So we'll go ahead and play. I was hoping we'd play 3 or 4 in an evening of work. So let's go ahead and get game 4 going. And the Minnesota Twins win. Hey, we'll have fun the next time we're at it because it'll be a 3-game series. Someone's going to have to win it. So let's go ahead for, again, new on schedule. Won't show you any graphics tonight. Just listen to me for a second. Again, this is going to be the Minnesota Twins coming at you. Again, it'll be league play, like best of 7 tournament. Again, that will be Minnesota at home. And that'll be the Cubbies on the road. And this will again be April 1st, April 2nd, day off, 3rd, 4th will be April the 5th. Let's look at it. April the 5th. And again, make this a day game. And it's a lousy day for baseball. So the stats, so a cold night in Minnesota. And the stats will come down with the ballpark results. So let's do, and for the Twins, so this is game 4. So 4s have to come out whoever they are. So come out wherever you are. So it'll be John Lackey, 11-8, 3.35 ERA, brings out their veteran. And again, that should be Jim Perry. So Jim Perry will come in and pitch. Then another day off will be given as we come back to Chicago, and that should be our number 1 starters who pitched game 1. That should come back to, again, it should be Jim Cott going against John Lester. So Lackey and Perry, there are 4 starters. Looks good. Lousy day for baseball at Metropolitan Stadium. I believe I said it was field 338 here. Again, maybe some of you might like the field, but I kind of like mine a little bit better. It's up to you guys. 338, just to switch it over. We're back in Minnesota. Jim Perry on the mound. Even looks like him, brother of Gaylord. He was 12-7 on the year, 2.63 ERA. Here's Fowler. Fowler so far, 12 at bats, home run, 2 ribbies, left-handed hitter. Let's play ball. Game 4 from Minnesota. Perry from the mound. Here's the pitch to Fowler. That will be a walk. So Fowler's on. There you go. So Fowler is on. Let's see if he wants to run here. Probably not. 1-12. Gets it on 19%. Doesn't get it. So Fowler holds. Perry from the stretch pitches Hayward. And that's going to be a line drive base hit. The Cubs did not need that luck early. So Hayward is on. First and second. Nobody out. Twins got to win this one. They don't want to go back to Wrigley Field down 3-1. Here's Chris Bryant. 13 at-bats, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, hitting .308. Perry with the windup and the pitch. That's a strikeout, 1 away. Here's Anthony Rizzo. Perry from the stretch. Rizzo so far has 1 hit and 12 at-bats. Walked up, bases loaded. Jim Perry, this is not the game. You want your number 4 starter struggling with his control. Bases loaded, 1 out for Addison Russell. 2 for 10 with a double. The Twins will, you know what? Twins will bring the infield in. This is an important series. We'll see if they can get him early. Perry from the stretch. Pitch to Russell. That will be a walk to him, and Jim Perry's absolutely lost control. One hit, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, run scored. 1-0 Chicago. Here's Miguel Montero. This could be over fast. Perry from the stretch. Here's the pitch. This will be a ground ball second. Gets the double play. How about that? The infield was back. Went 4-6-3. 1-0 Cubs. So he gets out of a big jam. On the mound, John Lackey, the veteran right-hander. 11-8, 3.35 ERA. It's for Sally's Rollins Oliva to bat. Who's at second base again? Oh, it's Rich frickin' Rollins again with his .488. Yay. Man. Again, I should have made that move. Lackey from the windup. Here's the pitch to Versalles. Struck him out. And now here's Rich frickin' Rollins. He is 3 for 10. He is hitting the ball. Lackey with the windup and the pitch. And he does. Line drive in the gap. Fowler slides, makes the catch, 2 outs. Here's Tony Oliva, 2 for 10, 2 RBIs in the series. Lackey with the windup pitch to Oliva. And that's a ground ball to second. Baez with the play. 1-0 Cubs going to the second. So here is Zobrist. Again, here, bad day here in Minnesota. 1 to 4 singles from the left side. Right side, 1 to 9. 1 to 6 home runs left to right. Perry with the windup pitch to Zobrist. And that's going to be a line drive caught by Rollins, 1 away. So here's Perry. Schwarber to bat. He's 0 for 5 and a couple of walks. Pitch to Schwarber. That's a strikeout for Schwarber, 2 outs. Perry looks in. Here's the pitch to Baez. And that's a ground ball to short. So Jim Perry kind of got the dust off him, trying to have a hard start, but Cubs lead 1-0, bottom 2. So Lackey on the mound will pitch to Kilbrew, Mitcher, and Hall. This is a guy that has to get hot if the Twins want to win this series. Lackey with the windup pitch to Kilbrew, and that's a deep drive, left field trouble. Back goes Zobrist off the top of the wall, plays it. Kilbrew with the leadoff double. There's Don Mitcher. He's 1 for 8 with the home run. Lackey from the stretch. Walked him. Now Lackey having issues. First and second, nobody out for Jim Hall. Lackey from the stretch. Pitches to Hall. That will be a line drive base hit there. Kilbrew scores. Mitcher to third. It's 1-1. So the Twins with a good start. Here's Bob Allison. 0 for his first 9. Lackey from the stretch in the pitch. That will be a ground ball to second. That should be a double play for Baez. No, he cannot make the play. Oh, he lost the ball, and it's 2-1 Twins. E4 on Baez. So the Twins take an early lead. Here's Earl Batty. So now Lackey in a little bit of trouble. Lackey from stretch. First and second, nobody out, and the pitch. That's a base hit for Batty. Here comes Hall. He'll score. 3-1 Minnesota. So now here's Valespino. Lackey from the stretch. 3-1. And the pitch, the 5-ball center should score him. Fowler with the catch. Allison tags. 4-1 Twins. So now here's Versalles. Julio Versalles. Lackey from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to ground ball to short. Top play for Russell. Makes it. It turns a double play. So Lackey gets out of it. We play 2. It's 4-1 Twins. The Twins open up a 4-0 lead, 4-1 lead here in the top of the third. So far in the ball game, for Lackey, that was 3 of the 4 runs were earned. Here's Dexter Fowler. He got himself a walk and a run scored his first time up. Perry with the windup and the pitch. And that's a base hit. So Fowler is on. Here's Hayward, 1 for 1 with a single. Playing well in the series. He's 4 for 12. Perry from the stretch. Pitch to J-Hay. That's a fly ball right field. That's hit at Oliva. Tough play. Does. Nice catch from Oliva. 1 away. So now here is Bryant. Perry from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Bryant. Hit him. Jeez, a 2-7 hit by pitch. That's rough. First and second one out. Here's the king of the hit by pitch. Not Don Baylor, but Anthony Rizzo. First and second one out. He's the king of the National League, along with Don Hunt. So Rizzo to bat against Perry. Perry from the stretch and the pitch. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. Hall is there. Makes the catch and 1 away. Here's Addison Russell. RBI his first time up. Perry from the stretch and the pitch. That's going to be pop up to short. Versalles with the catch, and the tire is aside. Go to the bottom of third. Twins trying to get that big win. It's 4-1 Twins. Lackey looks in, gets a sign, pitch to Rollins, and that's a ground ball to second. Top play for Baez. He makes the play 1 away. So Lackey gets a big out there. Here is Oliva. Lackey with a windup, pitch to Oliva. And Oliva on the base hit. Big hit for Oliva. Runner on first and 1 man out. Here's Kilbrew, 1 for 1 with a double. Lackey from the stretch and the pitch. And that's a ground ball to third. That's 2. Bryant, Baez, Rizzo. Double play. So in the 4th inning, 2 outs. Here's Miguel Montero, 0 for 1 so far. 3 for 8 in the series. Perry with the windup and the pitch. That will be a line drive deep to right center field. Back goes Hall. Off the wall, a double for Montero. So the Cubs trying to get some back here. Here's Zobrist. He's 0 for 1. 1 for 11 in the series. But made 2 outstanding catches. Perry at the stretch. Pitch to Zobrist. And that's a fly ball to left. Allison there makes the catch. We go to the 4th. 4-1 Twins. Schwarber, Baez, Fowler, the bat against Jim Perry. Perry at the windup, pitch to Schwarber. And Schwarber's a walk. So Schwarber's on. First and second, 1 out. Cubs trying to get back in this. Here's Baez. He's 0 for 1, 7 for 14 in the series. Perry from the stretch in the pitch. And that's a pop up to short. Versalles calls off Rollins, makes the catch. So there's 2 outs. And now here's Dexter Fowler, walk and a single. Left-handed hitter. Perry from the stretch in the pitch. And that's a walk to Fowler. Cubs have the bases loaded for Jason Hayward. 1 for 2 in the series. Perry from the stretch. 4-1 twin. Pitch to Hayward. That's a fly ball right field. Oliva with the catch. Makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 4-1 Twins. Lackey looks in now. 4-1. Here's the pitch to Don Mitchell. And that's going to be a line drive. Oh, Russell with the catch. Single on a 1. Got to 20. Or got to 2, I should say. So just missed it. Jimmy Hall, 1 for 1. Single and RBI. It was his second RBI of the series. Lackey from the windup pitch to Hall. And that's a deep drive, right center field. Back goes Fowler. Plays the wall. That's a double for Jim Hall. Runner on second, 1 out for Bob Allison. Lackey from the stretch. Pitches to Allison. And that's going to deep drive left center field. Back goes Zobrist. Puts the glove up. Makes the running catch. Another great catch for Ben Zobrist. 2 outs. And now here's Earl Batty. 1 for 1 with an RBI. Lackey from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Batty. And that's a pop-up to short. Russell is there. Makes the catch. We go to the 5th. 4-1 Twins. Bryant, Rizzo, Russell, the bat for the Cubs here in the 5th. Perry looks in, top of the 5th, and the pitch. Pitch to Chris Bryant is a strikeout for Bryant. Here's Rizzo. Perry with the windup. Here's the pitch to Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo, ground ball to first. Mitchell takes to the bag himself. There's 2 outs. Here's Addison Russell, 0 for 1 with an RBI. Perry with the long windup and the pitch. That's a ground ball to second. That's Rollins. Oh, no. Throws it away, Rollins. That's why he doesn't play the field at second. Runner on second, 2 out. Probably make the change probably in the 7th. Gives the Cubs a chance. Here's Montero, 1 for 4 with a double. Perry from the stretch. Pitch to Montero. And he pops it straight up. Rollins will make this catch. He does. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Minnesota 4, Chicago 1. So Lackey will now pitch to Valaspino, Versalles, and Rollins. Lackey to Valaspino and the pitch. That will be a pop-up to first. Rizzo's there. Makes the catch. Here's Versalles. He's 0 for 2. Struggling with the bat. Lackey with the windup and the pitch. That'll be a base hit for Versalles. He's 1 for 3. Here's Rich freaking Rollins. 0 for 2. With all the errors he'll make, hopefully he'll bounce back with the hits. Lackey from the stretch. Pitch to Rollins. That's going to be a fly ball to right. Hayward will be there. Squeezes it for the 2nd out for Tony Oliva. 1 for 2. Single back in the 3rd. Lackey from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Oliva. And that's a ground ball to 3rd. Bryant takes the short way, and we played 5. Game is official here in Minnesota. It's Twins 4, Cubs 1. Top of the 6th. Here's Zobrist, followed by Schwarber and Baez. Perry with the windup. Pitch to Zobrist. That is a ground ball to 3rd. Throws him out, 1 away. So now here's Schwarber, 0 for 1. A strikeout and a walk. That is the typical Schwarber we see. Strikeout, walk, home run. Let's see if this is a home run. Perry with the pitch. And that's going to be a line drive base hit for Schwarber. So he gets the hit on the 1-4. Runner on first, 1 out, 4-1 Minnesota. Perry from the stretch and the pitch. This will be a line drive deep to left field. Javi Baez, ball is gone. 4-3 ball game. Javi Baez, have yourself a series. Looking at early MVP chances, Javi Baez starting to poke his head. 4-3 Twins in the 6th. Perry looks in. Here's the pitch to Fowler. And that's a walk. Does he tire him? No, does not tire him. Let's see what's going on with Jim Perry here. He's actually an 8. That's weird. The year that Jim Cott had a 6. Perry goes 168 innings, gets the 8. Wow. Perry from the stretch. Runner on first, 1 out. Pitch to Jason Hayward. Walk to Hayward. First and second, 1 out. Bullpen up for the Twins. 4-3. Bryant the batter. Perry will pitch from the stretch. First and second, 1 out. That will be a strike him out. Good job there. Now here's Rizzo. 2 outs in the 6th. Oof. Jim Perry, again, you go overboard and use Jim Merritt here. On deck is Russell, and a guy you want to pitch to. This is kind of the window you give Jim Merritt. He's had 3 innings, given up 4 hits. Does Merritt get another relief appearance? His 3rd in 4 games? Probably not. You probably want to stay away from him. But the Twins have a good enough back end. They may see Johnny Clipstein. He's only pitched 1 inning. Very effective versus lefties. 4-3 Twins in the 6th. This is playoff baseball, baby. Johnny Clipstein will come in and meet the new pitcher. So Johnny Clipstein in, very effective against lefties, will pitch against Rizzo. 1st and 2nd, 2 out, Clipstein from the stretch. And that's a good pitch. Fly ball right field. Oliva drops another one. Unbelievable. And the Twins fans letting him have it. Fowler scores. We're tied at 4. Oh, another error in the ball game. And the Twins make their 2nd. We're tied at 4. Here is Addison Russell. Clipstein from the stretch. And that's going to be deep drive left field. Back goes Allison. Back makes the catch at the track. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. New ball game. It's 4-4 in the 6th. Oof. Killebrew, Mitcher, and Hall to hit against John Lackey. Lackey looks in. Here's the pitch to Killebrew. That's a ground ball to 2nd. Baez throws him out 1 away. Here's Mitcher. 0 for 1 with the run scored. Lackey with the windup. Pitch to Mitcher. Mitchner. That's a base hit for Mitchner. Runner on first, 1 away. Lackey looks in. Hall 2 for 2 with a double. Cubs wondering if they need a left-hander there himself. Pitch to Hall. Allison Batty doesn't really matter, and then Valspino would want to see a righty too. Tough pitcher here, 1 away. Lackey will stay in and pitch to Hall. Hopefully does not make a mistake. And that's a fly ball to center. Fowler is there, makes the catch, 2 out in the 6th for Bob Allison. 0 for 2 with an RBI. Lackey looks in, runner on first and 2 outs in the pitch. Lackey, 1st and 2nd. And now you get Batty now. Tough situation here for the Twins. 1st and 2nd, 2 out, tied ball game. Do the Cubs go somewhere here and get another out? Lackey looks in, stays in the game. Pitch to Batty. And that's a walk, and the bases are loaded. Lackey's officially tired. Bases loaded, 2 outs, tie ball game. Valaspino and the Cubs will go to a lefty here regardless. Probably force him to bring somebody out. Again, it'll be Travis Wood. He's the one who can get lefties out on this team. And now what do they do with Valaspino? Not much hitter against a righty. 4-4 ball game, bottom of the 6th and 2 outs. Does that mean you get Nossick again, or do you have someone else who can hit? Andy Costco. It's going to be a DH, so Costco will come in and hit. 55 at-bats, only has one at-bat in this tournament. Wood from the stretch and the pitch. This will be a line drive base hit. That scores the run. It's 5-4 Minnesota. Here's Zolio Versalis now. Wood from the stretch and the pitch. That will be a ground ball to 3rd. Goes to 2nd, gets the force. Minnesota's retaking the lead. It's 5-4. We go to the 7th. It's Montero, Zobrist, and Schwarber. Ooh. Again, with no merit here. Clipstein will stay in and pitch. Clipstein's going to have to be an absolute monster here. Here's the pitch to Montero. And that's a walk to Montero. Jesus. Can Clipstein hold on? No, he can't. That'll be a +1. There'll be a -1 to run on. So now, do you go here for the Cubs? Do you go for the jugular, Montero, who will run on this team? Looking at the speed on this team and see who would be available. Solar, no speed. They don't really have anybody on this bench who can run. So Montero will stay there. You know what? He will not. Someone has to come out who can run just a little bit better. So let's see. Running rating 13. Running rating 9. 11. Secure again we've seen. And Contreras is actually a 13. So what do you want to do here? Let's bring in Amora. Amora will run for Montero. So runner on first, nobody out. Clipstein from the stretch. Pitch to Zobrist. And that doesn't matter. Goes to 2nd, goes to short. Back to 1st for a double play. 4-6-3. So here's Schwarber. 1 for 2 with a run scored. Clipstein with the windup and the pitch. That will be a walk to Schwarber again. That's what he's been doing. Runner on first and 2 out for Baez. Boy, what a series he's had. 8 for 16. 3 doubles, a homer, 5 RBIs. Clipstein from the stretch in the pitch. This will be a line drive deep to left field. Back goes Allison. Back reaches on, makes the catch. Home run, 1-6. Allison brings it back on the 7. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's get up and stretch. 5-4 Minnesota. So let's see who I brought in this game who needs to come out. That probably would mean a new catcher. And they're going to go to Wilson Contreras. So Wilson Contreras will be a new catcher here. They'll kind of try him out here. Oops. Didn't bring the catcher, I guess. So let's see. So Contreras will come in. He's a new catcher. Dink right there. And now we're in the bottom of the 7th. 5-4 Minnesota. Rich freaking Rollins, Oliva, and Killebrew. Wood with a windup to Rollins. And that's ground ball to third. Picked up by Bryant. Got it. Throws that one away. So now here's Oliva. He'll definitely either be pinch hit for 576 at bats. Oliva will bat. He played every day. Wood for the windup. Pitch to Oliva. And good job there from Alex Wood. Fly ball left field makes the catch. And that's it for Alex Wood. Does his job. Here comes Joe Madden. Twins lead 5-4. Have to keep it close. Righty will come in. Will be Pedro Strop. Will come in. S-T-R-O-P. Pedro Strop. So 2R, 2.85 ERA, 27 hits over 47 innings. Here's the pitch to Killebrew from Strop. And that will be a walk to Killebrew. That doesn't help. 2 outs. We'll pitch to Dom Mitcher. 1 for 2, 2 runs scored. Strop from the stretch. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. Baez got in his glove. Makes it. Oh, another error for Baez. So Baez makes a mistake. And it's first and second, 2 outs for Jimmy Hall. Does that end the day for Strop here? So let's see. Third batter, I'm going to leave him in for that reason. Strop looks in. First and second, 2 out. Pitch to Jimmy Hall. Walked him. The bases are loaded, and Strop can't believe it. And now Minnesota has a chance to tie this series. It's Bob Allison. And Strop will stay out there. He says, I can do it. Strop from the stretch. Pitches to Allison. And base hit Allison. 2-run score. Killebrew scores. Here comes Mitcher. Twins lead at 7-4 as Bob Allison knocks in 2. And that might be all for him. So Strop will leave. And that will then we'll call on Hector Rodon will come back out for the Cubs. So Rodon will come in. So Rodon is your new pitcher. That will be first and third, 2 out. Here's the pitch, Rodon. And that's a strikeout. Hector Rodon does his job again. Twins score 2. They now have a 7-4 lead headed to the 8th. Can the Twins tie the series? We go back to Wrigley, and then it's a best of 3. So it's 7-4. Cubs in the 8th. Fowler will bat, followed by Hayward and Bryant against Johnny Clipstein, who has looked really strong so far. Here's the pitch. That's a base hit left field. So now with Cubs a chance to bring up the tying run. Here's Hayward, 1 for 3 and a walk. Clipstein from the stretch in the pitch. And that's a fly ball left field. Allison is there, makes the catch. Here's Chris Bryant. Righty on righty matchup. Clipstein will stay out there. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. That could be, oh, no, it's not going to be 2. G3, luckily. And Fowler moves to second. Again, I had to bring a new second baseman in. And here's Anthony Rizzo, 0 for 3 and a walk. Clipstein from the stretch in the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball for Rollins. Does he make the play? No, he does not. Rich Rollins makes the error, and it's first and third. 5 errors in this ball game. And Allison Russell, again, it turns out to be a 4-out save for Mr. Worthington. So Mr. Worthington comes in. He's got a save in the tournament. He comes in, first and third, 2 outs. And again, it's going to be Addison Russell. Worthington from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Goes to second. Retires the side out. Worthington does the job. 7-4 Minnesota. We go to the 8th. It'll now be Costco, Versales, and Rollins the bat. It's Rodon. Rodon winds up and pitched to Costco. And that's a strikeout for Rodon. Boy, he has a lively fastball so far in this tournament. Versales is 1 for 4 and the pitch. That'll be a strikeout for Rodon. Here is Rollins, 0 for 4. Rondon with the windup and the pitch. And that's a base hit for Rollins, so he doesn't feel he can at least hit. Here's Oliva. He's 1 for 4. Rodon from the stretch. And that's a double for Oliva. Here comes Rollins as he tried to score. 1-13. He's got to try to score. Throw for the lead runner. Hold the trailing runner. He's safe, and the Twins now lead at 8-4. RBI double for Tony Oliva. So Rodon looks in. Here's a pitch to Killebrew. That's a wild pitch. Oliva will go to third. Actually, it's a pass ball on Contreras. Rodon looks in, and the pitch to Killebrew. That's a strikeout for Rodon. We go to the top of the ninth. It's 8-4 Twins. If we go finish this game, we'll say goodbye for tonight. We'll have a 2-2 tie going to our next broadcast. Worthington against Contreras, followed by Zobrist and Schwarber. Here's the pitch to Wilson Contreras. That's a deep drive, left center field. Allison back, makes the catch, and there's one out. Here's Zobrist, 0 for 4. Worthington looks in. Here's the pitch to Zobrist, 0 for 4 tonight. Struck him out. Al Worthington's 1 out away from getting his second save. Worthing looks in. They tap. Here's a pitch to Schwarber. And that's a walk. So the Cubs have a last chance. It's Baez, 1 for 4. 17 at-bats, hitting .471, 4 extra base hits. Worthington from the stretch. That will be a walk to him. And there's 2 on. So Worthington making it interesting. And now here's Dexter Fowler. He has 2 hits and 3 walks. On deck hitter is a J. Hay kid. Worthington from the stretch. Pitches to Fowler. A fly ball to center field. Hall is there. Series tied at 2. We'll go back to Wrigley for Game 5. Let's go ahead and go over the stats, folks. We'll check out what's here and see if we want to continue. So the winning end, Twins win at 8-4. 4 in the second, 1 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh, 1 in the eighth. 8, 11, and 3 for the Twins. The Cubs had 1 in the first, 3 in the sixth, 4, 6, and 2 for the Twins. Winning pitchers, Johnny Clipsty, 2 innings, 1 hit. Worthington comes in, gives an inning and third, gets his second save, 2 walks and a strikeout. Losing pitcher, Lackey, 5 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. Doubles in the game by Montero, Oliva, second for Killebrew, 1 for Hall. Home run, Baez is first. RBIs, Russell is first. Baez is second, gives him 5. Oliva's third, Hall his second. Allison 3, gave him 3. Batty second, Valaspino's first, and Costco's first. 2-2 tie. We go back to Chicago, Game 5, and we'll go ahead and probably kill it here. Give the days rest. So we come back to Wrigley Field. We'll go ahead and have our finale. Thank you, folks. Hey, Dave Little, thank you for coming in also. This, again, is the March Madness Baseball Tournament. We are going to play Game 5, 5, 6, and 7. Next time we're here, we're at 2 hours in our broadcast. So, again, I appreciate everyone here. I appreciate your time. Again, this is Sports Time Machine. Appreciate the 5 likes. 2 hours in. We'll try to get another night. And we'll see you again for more baseball. We'll play the March Madness tournament of the best teams with the most wins. Talk to you later, folks.